everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're doing well during this troubling time, and I hope you had a great Easter. However, today I'm going to tell you my opinion on which areas are the best from every single 3D Zelda game, and why, starting with the Ocarina of Time. Before I get into the video, I'm going to be cracking a giant theory next week for Breath of the Wild 2, so subscribe now so you're ready for it, and like this video if you're excited. Now let's get into it. The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Gerudo Valley. Imagine you're on the N64 or 3DS. You turn Ocarina of Time on, you get the amazing menu music. You play through the game that can only be described as a masterpiece. You finish all of the dungeons but one, the Spirit Temple. Up until now you had no clue of the location of this mysterious area of the map. You grab your trusty horse Epona, and you speed towards the one corner of the map you haven't been to yet, Gerudo Valley. The ecstatic music fills your ears as you jump over the gap from the outside of the area to the inside of the area. And then you do an amazing stealth quest, freeing all of the builders from imprisonment. Then after completion of said stealth mission, the Gerudo accepts your worthiness of entrance into the Gerudo Desert. You walk through a barren wasteland, and follow through a Po so you can reach the colossal Spirit Temple. And the Spirit Temple is one of the best dungeons in Ocarina of Time, utilising both the adult Link's weapon arsenal and a young Link's arsenal. An amazing dungeon is the icing on the cake for my top spot for my favourite area in Ocarina of Time. The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, Ikana Canyon. Again, with this area, it's all about the atmosphere and the feel as you walk around, along with a very small but notable side quest. The theme of death clouds around you as you journey through the dark valley. You walk into the house that seems to be the only life in the middle of all of the Gibdos. You enter the house, and you see a Gibdo come out of a wardrobe. And as you ready your sword, a child runs down the stairs and tells you to not hurt them. So Link, being the hero that he is, uses the Song of Healing to save the girl's father. This, along with a great mini-dungeon, places it at the top of my list for this game. The mini-dungeon in Ikana Canyon, known as the Ancient Castle of Ikana, is a very small dungeon that only takes around 30 minutes to an hour of your playtime. But that time is not wasted, with an amazing boss that requires a certain amount of intellect unlike many other Zelda bosses. And I haven't mentioned the fact that the Stone Tower Temple is also located here, one of the hardest temples in the Legend of Zelda series, and a very clever dungeon as you go through it twice, once normally and once upside down. Not to mention a highly interesting boss. All of this combines to make a great area in a Zelda game. The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. Windfall Island. This had to be a given in my opinion, as the island is so shrouded in mystery that it has to go in place of my favourite area in the game. My main reason being the fact that the theories of this specific island are amazing. The theories range from being a Sheikah settlement down to certain characters' ties to the island, maybe even being the same settlement as Kakariko Village, a Sheikah village in the Ocarina of Time. All of the mystery that surrounds the island really makes it for me. The music for Windfall is also very catchy, and yes, I do think it's Kakariko Village, but less on that. Actually, let me go into these theories. In Windfall Island, there's a bomb shop. Fellow YouTuber Zeltik and many others believe that the bomb shop could have been where the windmill resided in Kakariko Village, and the teacher in Windfall Island gives you a house outside of Windfall. As you look around it, Sheikah references are located everywhere underneath the house, along with the fact that the bottom of the well looks to inspire the bottom of this house. Lots of lore leads me to love this area in the Wind Waker. The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess, Snow Peak Ruins. As with everything else on this list that I've mentioned so far, the atmosphere the devs created here was amazing. The music that's playing behind my voice right now really sets the mood of the dungeon. In fact, let's talk about the build up to the dungeon. As if you're travelling to Snowhead in Majora's Mask, you slide down a colossal snow slide with your new friend Yuto, who the dungeon in some way will be centred around. Then you enter the ruin of a giant mansion, packed with amazing puzzles and a great mini-boss. You run into the ruins, and it turns out this will be your next dungeon, not just any house. A unique setting and dungeon quest makes this my favourite area in the darker Twilight Princess. But let's talk more about the inside of the dungeon. I call it unique as the main goal for the most part of this dungeon, you're actually walking around a mansion's ruins to get ingredients for a soup that our friend Yuto is making for his girlfriend Yuta. But less about soup. There's an amazing mini-boss with a ball and chain, and you take his ball and chain for your own use against this boss. I won't say much more, except this is an amazing ending for lovers. An amazing area with a great dungeon in Twilight Princess is right here. The Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword. Skyloft. Now let's start off with the music once again. Now this provides a perfect symphony for you to listen to at the start of the game. A peaceful, serene piece of music that I could spend an hour listening to. Skyloft is where you partake in many of the game's first hours, where you take your Loftwing back, and where the majority of side quests are first started, and where Link first grew up. Many of the side quests in this game are well made, and this adds to Skyloft's worth, along with the fact that the Sky Keep is housed here. The scenery and once again atmosphere brings us up to my favourite area in Skyward Sword, with an amazing bazaar, as you can see on screen right now. It's no secret that I don't exactly completely love Skyward Sword, and one of the reasons of this is because of Skykeep. I don't love this dungeon, as you can spend far too long in this dungeon without a guide, but this doesn't take away from the fact that I love the scenery in Skyloft, and it's an amazing hub area. The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Hyrule Castle. If all of the dungeons in the way of the Hero of Wilds were like Hyrule Castle, Breath of the Wild would be the best game ever. Hyrule Castle was an excellent place to go at any point in the game, as you could take some amazing weapons from the depths of the castle to the ruins of the Sanctum. Not to mention the fact that the Hylian shield is found in the dungeons of Hyrule Castle. If there were more dungeons like this that you could run into at any times and take any weapons, then it would be amazing for the next game. But if they do use the same system for the dungeons in the next game, they need to put a boss key in the dungeon. Otherwise you go straight to the boss and the game will be a breeze, unfortunately. But this is the best place for atmosphere and gameplay in the game, in my personal opinion. Well, that seems to be all the 3D Zeldas already. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like rating and please do subs, it really helps me out. And leave your thoughts in the comments below and stay tuned for an amazing new theory coming out next week. I hope you're all doing well and I'll see you all next time.